Next up, let's talk about rules related to seeds. So in order to plant seed in the state of Texas, the seed's going to have to either be certified or approved. And so you're going to need to check into the seed variety that you're looking at planting to make sure that it qualifies under one of those. At the time of this recording in January, there currently aren't any certified seed available in the state of Texas, but TDA does have a published list of various approved hemp varieties. And there are several pages worth of varieties you can find on that list. Additionally, there are a number of labeling requirements related to seed. And so if you're someone, especially someone who's looking at potentially selling seed, keep in mind that this seed has to meet the Texas labeling requirements as well as those for the state of origination. So if you're going to purchase seed maybe from New Mexico, or if you're going to be selling seed in different states, there is that kind of multi-layered requirement there. Here's an example of the Texas approved hemp varieties that I pulled off of the website. Like I said, there's multiple pages of varieties listed. You will note here that it specifically says the TDA does not guarantee THC compliance for any Texas approved varieties. And of course, what that means is, right, just because it's a Texas approved variety, the TDA is not guaranteeing you anything with relation to what THC content may be in your crop. Let's look at the issue of transplants as well. This was particularly concerning in the initial rules that were sent out by TDA. They sort of, published their initial rule and took comment, and at that point they were not going to allow any transplants from outside the state of Texas. That was changed, and the TDA final hemp rule will allow transplants. There are a handful of rules and regulations related to that. One thing to keep in mind is that the initial area of cultivation and the final transplant area are considered to be one lot. And so when we talk about needing to get a lot permit, if you're going to start seedlings somewhere and then transplant them somewhere else, the initial and the final location are considered one lot, which is helpful in the permitting process because you will have to have that lot permit. So you'll have to make sure and have that listed. Additionally, you cannot transplant from an initial area to more than one final area. So if you have your transplants, you have to put them in one final area. The sale or transfer of plants from one owner to another constitutes a harvest, and that means that testing procedures appear to apply. So this is something to pay close attention to. It appears that if you're going to sell transplants to somebody else, you may have to go through the testing process and test the THC level of those plants in order to sell them to another person. Additionally, keep in mind that if you're going to have transplants that are going to be sold to a new owner or for some other reason are going to leave a particular lot, then you're going to have a transport manifest. So remember that if you have an initial cultivation area and a final destination that's identified in a lot permit, that's one lot. So you wouldn't need a transport manifest. But if you're going to sell those transplants to someone else, or they're for some other reason going to leave and go to a different lot, that's when a manifest would be required.